I think I'm a little bit faster than planned, but this is basically meant to give you your lifetime back. Okay, before we come to the wrap-up of this wonderful event, I would like to thank everybody who made this possible. This is the organizers, of course, which involves Philip, who is in the front row with me, David, who is not with us at the moment, and Megan, who is tirelessly working on setting up the Yocto booth outside. And last but not least, our magician in the back, Mr. Michael Halstead. Give it up for him, because he actually, he does not only run AV for this here, he's always around for us and anybody of you if there's problems with yoctoproject.org. He's on IRC, he's super responsive. He makes sure that all of the stuff, the auto builder that we all rely on, works. So, Michael, it really wouldn't work without you. Having said that, I want to leave you with something that you can take into this week and hopefully also into your companies, offices, working places. Because we can talk a lot about tech and about making stuff work, but it's also about people. I mean, if meeting you face to face were completely useless, then why would there be in-person events? It is different, and especially this group in here, I think we are the next generation. And let me tell you why. I guess most of you have, you know this phrase, the next generation. And where did it actually start? With the first generation. I guess many of you know these people who did something in the 60s. They ran around in pajamas and had like Alka-Seltzers dropped into waters for making transporter lighting effects and cheap plastic toys for medical analysis. But everybody on that picture, at least in my understanding, has become a kind of a legend. Everybody knows Kirk, Spock, Bones, Scotty. I mean, these are names that have made their way into the collective memory of not only one generation of nerds. And I'm inclined to say that the Yocto project also has its own legends. Like I said, Philip has been around since Open Embedded Classic. Just the fact that he's still alive deserves calling him a legend. Then there's the founding fathers, Dirk Hondel, Jeffro, Richard, who is our main architect, Cam, who is always there if you put a crazy question on the mailing list. And let me quote Utah. I always get her name wrong. She said, if you are wondering why Cam's answer is always so short and often only a half sentence, that is not because he's rude. That is because your question was so interesting to him that he decided it is worth his time. And I think the fact that Cam, after like 15 years, he already was around when I didn't even know that Yocto existed, that he still takes the time to answer questions from everybody is special. That's what also makes a community legend to me. Those are not the only ones, that are just ones that I remembered right from the top of my head. So, I told you many years back, more than 10 years back, they started the Yocto project. And by now, many call it the gold standard for building a Linux distribution. And back in that day, maybe a lot of us even wouldn't have agreed. There were a lot of competing solutions, some very different, some pretty close, but nobody would have said, okay, this is the only way to do it. We are all sold on it. Definitely not. Just like NBC in 1969. They said, like, yeah, this is a nice show, and we also getting letters from the fans, but nah, maybe we're not so sure. We just gotta cancel the original series after 3 seasons. It did not happen for the Octo project. We are in a lot of more seasons than the 3rd. Today, we are not in the age of the originals anymore. This is about you, and it is about me. It is about the next generation. You can pick your character there. I don't know who you feel like. I guess I am mostly like Deanna Troi. For the looks, obviously. But the crazy thing about the next generation is, it is not the first or the ones that invented it, but it had a lot bigger impact than the original. They ran across 8 seasons, 7 seasons. It had 1 million plus X per episode. And it laid the groundwork for memes that we all know by heart now. I mean, resistance is futile. Q. This is not coming from the original series. It is all from the next generation. They spawned Voyager. They spawned DS9. And I say, let's be like the next generation. Because I personally, for example, I even wasn't around in the Yocto project until 2013. I met Jeffro before I even had an idea what this thing is doing. And a lot of you, that's why I asked in the morning, you're new here. And we all were new at some point in time. Some of those who mentored us back in the day, like Bian for me, are still around. Others are not around anymore, like Jeffro or Nico. They have went on to new endeavors, and that's good. We are the next generation, and it's not important that we weren't here when this thing started. We are here now, and it's also not important if you are a beginner. It is important that you are on the journey. And I just want you, everybody in this room, to basically take what you've learned, along with those you have met, to go out and boldly go where no one has gone before. Thank you for being with us for the Yocto Project Developer Day. See you around the week. We are all here, and